Hello, this is Uncommon Fossil and making a joint video with 10 types.
Yeah, I'm here. So I've decided that I'm too lazy to make my own video, so I got someone else to do it for me.
Piggybacking off me and my brilliant ideas. Yeah. So this is not our podcast. Don't worry. A podcast will be coming on Monday as usual. But Pokemon has announced they're updating the live client. So we had over a week, I think, without the server being shut down. So they gotta fix that and do that. But there's a number of a big. I think this is the big update we've been waiting for, and a couple of things that I think are worth discussing here. So I'll just start reading things off, and you can give me your feedback.
Yeah, because Uncommon Fossil, you've looked at these, you've read through these. I have not read through these at all. Like
Yes.
literally not looked at all. I know it fixes Palafin EX, according to you, but that's all I know.
Yes. Yeah, so we'll save the cards for last. So there's deck manager, editor, two items here. Some of these things I didn't know about, and some are certainly smaller. Fixed an issue where decks with no cards would occasionally appear in the deck editor. That's good. I don't think
Wait,
a big
what's
deal.
what's
And
that, what's that mean? Like if you have a deck without any cards, isn't now like because you can create a deck and then not put
right.
anything in it. So does that mean that deck isn't there? Or
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't like that fact, but I think this means occasionally decks would just pop up with nothing in them for some people. I'm guessing. I never had it happen, but that's my guess.
okay.
Either way, it doesn't sound. I mean, it's not a huge thing. I don't think. Fixed an issue where sometimes deleting duplicate decks did not remove them from the account. So obviously that needs to get fixed. Again, not a huge thing. I don't think. Gameplay slash battle. There's 5 items here. Fixed an issue where card images fail to load when starting a match.
Oh,
This is a bigger one.
yeah, that's the one with like the white cards or just the white
I
blank
I,
like things, right?
I assume so. Now, sometimes you get like the backs of the cards too, I think sometimes, but I think that's the issue, yes, where it shows a blank card. And then so also I think the battle log sometimes shows a blank spot as well, or the card back, I forget.
Yeah, I've seen it like in the middle of matches, or I don't know. I guess I mostly see it in mulligans, but yeah.
hmm So if that's what they're addressing, that's a good thing. Fixed an issue on mobile devices where scroll speed for emotes was too quick, so you want to enjoy those emotes right in real time.
Exactly. Well, no, the scroll speed. Wait, so is the scroll speed like the spinning the bar or the
Oh, to
like
select
wheel?
them maybe?
Yeah, I think that's
Oh,
what it
that
is.
Oh, that could be. That could be. So you want to make sure you can get the right emote selected because we all love those so much.
Exactly.
Fix some visual effects issues when Apex cards are played. Gotta work on the visual effects, so that's important. Fix an issue where players could not select target. This one's very confusing the way it's written. Fixed an issue where players could not select valid targets to move energy, tools, or damage counters to when the target had an effect that would prevent the movement.
What?
So it's fixing an issue where you couldn't select valid targets, but then at the end it says, but that there had an effect that would prevent the movement. So it seems like you shouldn't be able to. So it's and what they're saying it's valid, but also prevented. So I don't know what they're saying there. Do you understand it?
Um, wait, so it fixed an issue where they couldn't select targets. I'm not sure. I'm not. Maybe it's saying that like you're not supposed to be able to do anything at all, and then um it's saying like it locks up, like it tries to do something, but then there are no options, and then it locks up, which I might have had or seen happen. Like maybe
hmm
um if I don't know, I'm trying to think of like an example, and I don't really know what an example would be. Um,
so
but
I
yeah.
the other thing I wonder is could it be a case where you're not allowed to move something to it, but you're allowed to try to do it, and then it's supposed to fail for you, right? So you'll
Yeah, maybe.
but I that one's odd. I'm not sure what it's saying.
Yeah, I haven't, and of all these glitches, I haven't heard anything about any of these glitches, except for the images not loading.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. It's the cards issue is the bigger one, and then fixed an issue where client instability would occur when cards in play were returned to the hand or shuffled into the deck. I haven't seen that myself
Wait, so
either. I don't
that's
think.
not the Palafin EX thing, right?
No. No. That's listed separately. So this is when card. This is something I guess more broad speaking. I'm not. I don't know what they're referring to exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say like what's client instability, but it's probably not that big of a fix.
No, I mean it could be like a soft lock or something. I don't know, or it could just be the program shuts down. But I'm not sure. Not what I know about. So we'll get to the cards, which are the bigger issues. The first one here is Legacy Energy fixed an issue where the once per game restriction did not clear when going into sudden death.
Wait, which one? Where is
That
this?
under cards that go on the top of the cards
Oh,
here.
okay.
Legacy Energy, right? You can only do that the once per game restriction of taking one prize, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Or one less
One,
prize,
yeah, one
which
less
which
prize.
which would matter in sudden death because if it was a zero prize, a single prize card, they wouldn't take a prize for it, right? So you wouldn't lose the game. That the restriction didn't reset going to sudden death. They've had issues in the past, like with Squawkabilly EX. I know when what would work and wouldn't work in sudden death was glitchy in the past.
Yeah, I will say this isn't necessarily a good sign that every time
Yeah.
they forget to reset it for Sunnet. Like shouldn't they just always like just like they mess it up and I get you can mess it up once, but like they shouldn't keep making the same mistake over and over again. Like that's not good.
Yeah, no, this fix, quote fix, actually concerns me, because it seems like like I've always been concerned that they didn't really have the logic for the coding properly, and this kind of confirms that idea to me. They shouldn't. It sounds like they have to put in the once per game for regular gameplay, and they have to add additional code on every card for once per game for sudden death. When sudden death starts, it should reset everything, right? It should get the game state proper. You shouldn't have to worry about these once per game aspects on card by card basis, which it sounds like they're doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm glad they're fixing it, but it is concerning to me. I haven't run into it because obviously there's not a lot of sudden death. So there's an Okidogi glitch, which I didn't know about, fixed an issue where the Adrena power ability incorrectly boosted the damage done to bench Pokemon when using the attack from the TM blind side.
Okay, and I assume it's not supposed to increase the damage, so that's I don't know. That seems like it shouldn't again, it seems like it shouldn't ever really be doing it because that's always how things work. I actually want to just check on the card. I have Limitless opened up
You're
for
calling
everybody.
up the card.
Yeah, but so Okidogi from Twilight Masquerade says
Hmm.
yeah, damage to your opponent's active is 100 more. So yeah.
So it was doing 100 more to the bench
Yeah,
Pokemon.
which again seems weird. Like again, this is an issue you could run into sometimes, but this is certainly something that's come up a lot. Maybe they like did like some weird mistake, but yeah.
The way they've done the logic and the sequence is weird because today I was playing Dragapult and my opponent had the Charmeleon that is immune to effects of attacks, right? I believe it is.
Yeah.
Right. And it didn't matter, so I hadn't played it. I wanted to see what would happen. So I just drug one damage counter over it. And what happened is the damage counter actually showed up on it, and then when it went to resolve it, all of a sudden it evaporated. So there's this weird sequencing going on. I think there's just weird sequencing in the game.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a symptom of that. All right, so Temple of Sinnoh, they fixed an issue where certain special energy cards didn't get suppressed under certain circumstances. So good. Obviously, it's another thing. I don't know why that was an issue.
Yeah, that's I was wondering. So we have Jamming Tower. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna
Yeah,
skip down to Jamming Tower. That says fix an issue where the card did not block the effect of Hero's Cape. Did it
right.
block Maximum Belt? I thought it
Oh, was that an issue as well?
I don't know. I thought it was all ace specs, but I don't know. I just heard it was um
Um, I know I've heard about Hero's Cape, so
yeah.
I'm not certain if it was all Ace specs or just Hero's Cape. That's a good question, and hopefully they fixed it for everything if it is. So,
Yeah.
and again, it is another concern for the code, right? It's a tool. Why is an Ace spec so there's something an Ace spec tool is somehow categorized differently than just a regular tool, I
Yeah.
guess,
I think
in
it's
live.
understandable because well, I don't know, it's not super understandable, but I think what happened was because Prism Star cards are a different type of card, not in standard, but kind of like ace
Yeah.
specs, and they are
Hmm.
different than like regular cards. So maybe that's why. I don't know. It's a little weird though.
I mean, for the ace specs, it's really a deck building issue. You can only have one in total. With the Prism Stars, obviously, well, you could have one only of each particular Prism Star, but then it went in the lost zone when it was discarded. So that was it was more different, I would say, than the ace specs. But yeah, so hopefully they sort that all out. They're addressing Great Tusk, which has been an issue since it came out, I believe. fixed the issue where the land collapse attack did not discard more than one card after the player played an ancient supporter card, and the opponent had less than 4 cards in their deck. So people will be glad to get that fixed.
Yeah, I will say, I'm a little, again, concerned with this glitch, because I thought this glitch wasn't relating to Grey Tusk itself, but rather how the game computes, like, supporters being played or something. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're fixing that whole issue, and hopefully that's what they're doing.
Right, because part of it has to do with the idea of what happens when your deck runs out, right? Because they're not saying it's not here being addressed, but like with Radiant Greninja, the game, you're not, if you have no cards in deck, you're not supposed to be able to discard a card because that's the cost to draw cards, and you couldn't draw cards, right? But I think in live you can discard your card,
I don't know. I
and the
thought it
game
was
locks up on
fixed. Was
you.
it not fixed?
Did
I
it?
just
Maybe I'm
assumed it
wrong.
was, but because I was in the
I
game and I've heard about that since really it came out, so I assumed it was fixed.
Okay, I thought I heard people complaining about it recently. I haven't been doing it myself, but I don't know. So but hopefully Great Tusk is not just Great Tusk, but the bigger supporter issue in general. I don't know. So Magcargo, I'm not aware of this one. Fix an issue with Lava's own ability would trigger when Magcargo's own active Pokemon is moved to their bench during their opponent's turn. I'm not even sure what that ability is.
Magcargo, I don't remember the exact wording, but it says when you move from the active to the bench, a burn Pokemon stays burned, I think. I don't remember if it's burned or every special condition, but what set was it? I found it. Tempo Forces. So yeah, it says whenever your opponent's active moves from the bench from the bench, their new active is now burned. So yeah, so that's good that they fixed it. Yeah.
Yeah, a small niche one with Palafin. This is the big
actually,
one.
No, that's not a small. Wait, it says
what?
It says it fixed an issue where the ability would trigger when the Magcargo player's active was moved to the bench, which doesn't. It should be the other way around. It should be your opponent moves. So
it shouldn't affect the person with the Magcargo.
Yeah, that's like that's really weird. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Maybe they just like made some silly mistake again, but I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Maybe they wrote it poorly. I don't know, or miswrote. Yeah, you shouldn't. I don't. Yeah, we'll see. I guess again, I haven't heard of that one. The Palafin, which we all know about, they fixed the client instability issues when using 0 to hero ability.
Yeah, aka the game would stop working.
Well, yeah, it stopped working for a while, but then since then it kind of fixed it, right? But the game would get all weird and glitchy and kind of freak out.
But that's what happened before. It got weird and glitchy and freaked out.
Yeah, I think you could still play the game though. I think
Maybe.
Sort of.
I think that's what it was like before. Like you could usually keep playing, but like cards would change, and then now it's like, and then it could sometimes soft lock.
Okay, and then jamming tower, which you already addressed. So, fixing the Palafin to me is a big deal. Hopefully they actually get that right. And the Palafin is a complicated one, so that one's not as much a surprise. Great Tusk, the fact that it took them so long to get to it, that's a big one. If they got it sorted out, it's not good that it took so long, though. Because Great Tusk was certainly a deck people could play. It was a viable deck, and having a glitch in that was not a good thing.
Yeah, and then I think the Palafin one. Wait, yeah. So Palafin, I think that one's worse because they gave it away for free. So it's like the thing they're most proud of is like bad. Like, so if the best thing is bad, then the worst thing's even worse than that.
Well, I mean that shows the disconnect between like the programmers and the marketing team. Because to me, it's the marketing. Whoever was just behind giving away the deck, and they went ahead and gave away a deck that had already been proved not to be working by a couple of weeks, right? By the time they gave it away. So
yeah, and it couldn't have been working in like when they were testing it before either. Like that just because it didn't work at all ever for anyone. So essentially, I mean, if you like ever played like even 2 or 3 games with it, it would have you would have realized.
Yeah, if they did any play testing, they would have seen that, and they should have not allowed Palafin to be in the game from day one on that.
Yeah.
So look, some good issues. I think all in all, certain thing to fix.
Not good issues.
not good that they were there. There's some good fixes. Certain things like with legacy issue, why they have to fix the sudden death, like every time a new card comes out has to get addressed. It's not good. And things like the card selection issue, once never get mentioned and probably don't get fixed. I had one today where my prime catcher could not gust up a Bidoof. In fact, I couldn't even, I don't know, it kind of disappeared where I couldn't even click on it until they evolved it into Babero later on. So it would, just weird stuff happens, unfortunately, still.
Yeah, but Pokemon TCG Live doing what it does best, which is not much. But
and shutting down the servers, though, that is one of the things they do
well.
That's
true. That's exactly not, which is nothing. They're not doing anything. They're just like making it so we can't do anything either. So we're all on the same page here. But yeah, I guess that's all for today's video. I don't know if this is the only video coming out. But yeah, check out our channels on YouTube, 10 Types and Uncommon Fossil, and we also have the Reasonably Effective podcast, which we do together. But we hope you enjoyed. Consider liking and subscribing, and anything else.
Before our podcast comes out on Mondays, and yes. Monday the game is live is down, so you have nothing else to do Monday afternoon. Listen to our podcast.
Exactly. And even if live is up, when live comes back up, you can still listen to our podcast.
That's true.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed, and we're excited to see you next time.
Take care.